JSX, or JavaScript XML, it's what allows us to write HTML-like code inside our JavaScript when working with React. But here's the twist. JSX isn't actually HTML. It just looks like it. Behind the scenes, JSX is transformed into pure JavaScript. But wait, how does this magic work under the hood? Let's say you write this in your code. Here, you have a constant named element that holds a heading with the text, "Hello World." But in reality, it's just a syntactic sugar for calling React create element function. So with that, we know that JSX isn't HTML. This is why you had to import React in older versions before React 17, but with modern setups and bundlers. JSX is compiled automatically. But to understand how JSX works, let's first go over the basic syntax and core concepts of JSX. For example, imagine you're building a user profile card for a social media app. You want to display a username and a bio, but JSX won't let you return them side by side without a wrapper. This won't work. Instead, you wrap them in a div to keep JSX happy. Why do we need to do this? JSX needs one parent element because it turns into a single piece of JavaScript code that React can understand and use to build the web page. Without a parent, multiple elements would confuse React's system for updating the page. But what if you're rendering items for a drop-down menu and don't want an extra div cluttering the DOM? That's where fragments come in. Written as angle brackets, let you group elements without adding a wrapper. For example, in a navigation menu, you might return multiple links. This renders just the A tags, keeping your DOM clean and lightweight, perfect for lists or menus. Next, components and functions in React always return JSX to describe what should appear on the screen. Say you're working on an e-commerce site and need a reusable product card. You create a product card component. You can then use it anywhere, like in the product display page, and it'll render the card every time. Or maybe you're building a dashboard and need a small function to display a status message. This component is simple but reusable across your app. Now let's talk about injecting JavaScript into JSX using curly braces. They let you drop dynamic values right into your elements. For instance, you're building a welcome banner for a user who just signed in. You have their name stored in a variable. This renders a heading that says, "Welcome Alice." It's not just variables. You can use any JavaScript expression that produces a value. Suppose you're working on a shopping cart and want to show the total items. Or maybe you're calculating a discount on the fly. This renders your paragraph with your dynamic price. You can even call a function inside the curly braces. For a weather app, you might format a temperature. This renders a paragraph that has a function which converts the temperature from Fahrenheit to Celsius. JSX's curly braces are powerful for expressions, but they only work with values, not statements like if or for. For example, in a task app, you might check if there are tasks. Since we can't use an if statement inside JSX curly braces, we can use a conditional rendering method called the ternary operator instead. If you're not yet familiar with conditional rendering, check out our video on the topic. Now, if the task list contains items, the ternary operator will display the true value. If it doesn't, it will display the false value. These examples demonstrate how JSX rules come together in real projects, making it easier to build dynamic, reusable interfaces. Speaking of dynamic and reusable, Floppy Data offers a robust suite of high-speed proxy services designed for seamless integration into your workflows. Whether you need proxies for secure browsing, automation, or large-scale data collection, Floppy Data has you covered. They got over 65 million global IPs across 195 plus locations worldwide, including residential, mobile, and data center proxies. That's seriously impressive. You can choose rotating proxies for dynamic tasks, like web scraping or static proxies, perfect for managing multiple accounts or automation projects. The best part, Floppy Data's pricing is affordable and flexible, starting at just $2.95 per gigabyte for residential and mobile proxies and $0.9 per gigabyte for data center proxies. New users can dive in with a $1 risk-free trial to test the service, and long-term plans come with discounts for even greater savings. With a user-friendly dashboard for real-time traffic monitoring and 24/7 support, Floppy Data is the fast, reliable proxy solution for all your needs. Check out their website for more details. Link in the description below. Now let's continue exploring JSX by diving into how attributes works in JSX. In JSX, attributes are similar to HTML attributes, but come with React-specific quirks. Event handlers use camel case, like onClick or onChange, instead of lowercase, like in HTML. For example, suppose you're building a form for a tasks app, and you want a button to add a task when clicked. This renders a button that logs task added when clicked. Another common case is handling input changes. Imagine a search bar for a blog site. Here, OnChange triggers handle search as the user types, logging the input value. Boolean attributes in JSX can be written shorthand. For instance, in a checkout form, you might disable a submit button until the user agrees to terms. Writing button disabled is the same as button disabled equals true. If the value is false, the attribute is omitted entirely. Next, styling in JSX is different from HTML because inline styles use a JavaScript object, not a CSS string, and property names are camel case. Let's say you're designing a notification banner for a news app. This renders a styled div with a yellow background and orange border. Notice background color and padding, no hyphens like CSS's background color. You can also define styles as a separate object for reuse. For example, this div uses the card style object as its style attribute. Dynamic styles are handy too. Imagine a progress bar for a file upload where the width changes based on progress. This renders a green bar that's 75% wide, or for a button that changes color when active. These examples show how JSX's object-based styling keeps things flexible and programmatic. And last, rendering lists in JSX is common, and you'll typically use the .map function to loop over an array. Each list item needs a unique key prop to help React efficiently update the DOM. Let's say you're building a task list for a productivity app. This renders an unordered list with 3 listed item elements. The key property helps React track each item, but using the task name assumes it's unique. If tasks could repeat, you'd use an index or ID. For instance, imagine a list of users from an API. Here, the key property is equals to the user ID. This is ideal because IDs are unique. Without keys, React might reorder or re-render items inefficiently, slowing down your app. So, JSX makes building dynamic user interfaces in React much easier. By mixing HTML-like code with JavaScript's strength, it helps you write clear, expressive code that's simple to understand and adaptable. With that said, we covered a lot today. That's why we created a PDF version of this video, and it's free for all our Kofi members. Inside the Kofi PDF, you'll find much more in-depth examples used in real projects, plus awesome tips and tricks to level up your skills. Joining Kofi unlocks great perks like this, so become a member today. Don't miss out. This is just one of many React topics we're diving into. We'll keep sharing videos with clear, detailed guides, like our upcoming deep dive into React forms, plus other exciting topics. So, make sure to subscribe to stay in the loop. Well, that's all for now, Novas. Thanks for watching.